Have you ever felt that strange tension between you and someone? A pull that feels magnetic but uncertain. You can't quite define it, yet it lingers in the air. You catch them glancing at you. And in that moment, your heart says, something's here, but your mind, it starts overthinking. You begin asking yourself, am I imagining this? Do they actually feel it too? Or am I just reading into things because I want it to be true? Mutual attraction often hides in plain sight, not in dramatic gestures, not in words, but in small, consistent behaviors, the kind that reveal more through repetition than expression. Sometimes it's crystal clear. Their eyes soften when they see you. Their tone changes slightly, or they lean in just a little closer than necessary. But other times it's a maze. You're left second-guessing, trapped in your own thoughts, dissecting every text, every pause, every look, and that uncertainty can drive even the calmest mind crazy. The reassuring part is both psychology and biology give us patterns, observable, measurable cues that reveal when two people are genuinely drawn to each other. These cues aren't fantasy, they're human nature, chemistry, and motion. So, in this video, we're diving deep into the real psychology of mutual attraction through 4 unmistakable signs that suggest you both genuinely like each other. But stay until the end, because I'll also share a few hidden signs most people completely overlook, the ones that quietly expose when the connection is far deeper than either person admits. These insights are grounded in human behavior and emotional intelligence. By the end, you'll have sharper eyes for the signs that truly matter, because understanding them might reveal a truth that's already taking shape in your life right now. Let's begin. Sign number 1, you both reach out regularly. When attraction is one-sided, the effort always feels uneven. It's one person doing all the chasing while the other replies out of politeness or routine, and deep down you feel that imbalance. You sense the emotional distance. You wait hours for a text that may never come, replaying conversations that felt forced, empty, or short. But when it's mutual, something feels different. You'll notice this quiet harmony, both of you naturally finding reasons to connect. It's not about desperate effort or strategy. It's about curiosity, a genuine pull. They'll send a funny meme, a random thought, or something that reminded them of you. You'll find yourself doing the same without realizing it. Sometimes they text first, sometimes you do. But what matters is the rhythm. The emotional energy flows both ways. And when that happens, you don't feel like you're chasing. They're not distant. You both feel drawn toward each other. There's excitement. That little dopamine hit when their name lights up your phone. And the conversation, it doesn't feel like effort. It feels alive. Even when there's no reason to talk, you both look for one. You'll send a casual, "What are you up to?" just to keep the connection going. And somehow, they always respond with warmth, with that subtle eagerness that says they were waiting too. This kind of back and forth isn't random. It's the first psychological marker of emotional reciprocity. It shows the brain's reward system, activating for both people. Dopamine, oxytocin, and serotonin begin creating what psychologists call a mutual reinforcement loop, a small cycle of pleasure that deepens attraction every time you interact. So when you both keep reaching out, not just once or twice, but consistently, it means your brainwaves started associating each other with positive emotion. That's not coincidence. That's connection forming in real time. And here's the thing most people miss. When it's one-sided, silence feels heavy. But when it's mutual, silence feels temporary. Because both people want to bridge it. They didn't let conversations die. You don't either. Because in some quiet way, both of you know that staying connected matters more than pretending to be unbothered. This back and forth rhythm, that shared effort, is one of the clearest indicators that the bond means something to both sides. It's not about frequency. It's about intent. It's about that subtle truth your actions keep, whispering to each other. I think of you, and I hope you think of me, too. If you've noticed this mutual flow of effort, that spark in conversation that refuses to die, then don't dismiss it as coincidence. That's emotional reciprocity, the first step of true mutual attraction. Sign number 2, you mirror each other without realizing it. Mirroring. It's one of the most powerful yet silent indicators of human connection. When two people are emotionally in sync, their bodies begin to speak a language of their own. It's not about copying, pretending, or trying to impress. It's deeper. It's instinctual. You cross your legs. Moments later, they do too. You tilt your head slightly when listening. They unconsciously match your posture. Even your laughter starts falling into rhythm. Same pace, same energy, same softness. This is not coincidence. This is your nervous system synchronizing. A biological sign that your minds are quietly aligning. In psychology, this is called limbic resonance. It's when two emotional systems begin to mirror each other's internal state. Your breathing starts to sync. Your tone of voice matches. Even your facial micro-expressions, the small fleeting ones that reveal emotion before we can control it, begin to align. Why does this happen? Because when you feel emotionally safe and connected with someone, your body enters what neuroscientists call co-regulation. Your nervous system essentially says, I feel safe with you. I can relax around you. And when that happens, your physical behavior naturally aligns. So, if you've ever found yourself accidentally using the same words they use, laughing at the same tempo, or finding your gestures strangely identical, that's not you being weird. That's attraction. That's biology revealing what your mind might still bed kneeing. And here's the beauty of it. Mirroring can't be faked for long. If someone tries to imitate behavior consciously, it feels forced, robotic. But when it's mutual, it feels effortless. It flows. You both laugh before realizing why. You both pause at the same moment. You both look at each other and suddenly stop talking because that silence feels full. That's when, this isn't surface level interest. This is a psychological connection. Mirroring is nature's way of saying, we belong in the same rhythm. And when that rhythm repeats over time, attraction deepens into emotional bonding. So, next time you're together, watch carefully. Notice how they move when you move, how their expressions reflect yours. Those little moments of synchronicity might be your nervous systems whispering the truth, even before your words ever do. Sign number 3, you both make time, even when it's not easy. Attraction, when real, has a gravitational pull. Two people who like each other don't find time, they create it. When it's one-sided, there's always an excuse. I'm busy. Maybe later next week. But when it's mutual, the effort feels effortless. Maybe they suggest grabbing a quick bite after work. Maybe they arrange plans just to see you for 10 minutes. Or maybe you keep coincidentally bumping into each other more often than logic allows. That's not random. That's proximity psychology. The subconscious desire to be where connection lives. When two people genuinely like each other, they'll subconsciously carve out micro moments. Even if it's late, even if it's inconvenient. It could be a 5-minute phone call before bed, or a short walk after a long day. It's not about duration. It's about presence. And presence is the purest currency of attraction. Think about it. We live in a world where everyone is distracted by screens, routines, and endless obligations. So when someone chooses to spend their limited time with you, that's not just kindness. That's prioritization. It's their way of saying, you matter enough for me to pause my world for a while. Sometimes the moments are small. A coffee run together, a late night talk in the car, a quick grocery store trip that turns into laughter and inside jokes. But those little efforts add up. They form emotional consistency, the foundation of trust. And here's something most people don't realize. Psychology studies show that when we enjoy someone's company, our brain releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone. This chemical literally motivates us to seek that person's presence again and again, even if it means sacrificing comfort or convenience. So when they make time for you, not because they have to, but because they want to, that's biology confirming what words can't express. And when you do the same, that's when emotional reciprocity blooms. Because attraction isn't built through big romantic gestures. It's built through consistent, quiet effort that says, I want to be where you are. Sometimes it's not about grand dates or dramatic moments. It's simply about choosing to stay 5 minutes longer, even when the world says you should go. Those moments, the ones that feel small, are actually the ones that change everything. Sign number 4, the vibe shifts. When it's just the two of you, when mutual attraction exists, something changes in the air the moment everyone else disappears. The atmosphere thickens, not in tension, but in awareness. Time slows. The noises of the world fade out, and suddenly it's just you and them. Your voice softens. Theories linger a little longer. Even silence feels charged, as if the space between words is speaking louder than either of you. In psychology, this is the intimacy effect. When two people's focus narrows completely onto each other, their bodies release oxytocin and dopamine simultaneously. That chemical mix sharpens attention and creates emotional gravity. You might find yourselves opening up more, revealing pieces of yourselves you rarely share. You talk slower, you listen deeper. There's an invisible bubble around the moment, and it feels sacred. This is the point where attraction turns from physical curiosity to emotional resonance, because true attraction isn't about what's said. It's about what vibrates beneath the words. And long after the moment ends, you boldly play it in your minds. Not because something happened, but because something shifted. That's the quiet power of mutual attraction. It transforms ordinary moments into memories that refuse to fade. Sign number 5. You both show micro-jealousy and protective instincts. Jealousy gets a bad reputation, but in its lightest form, it's one of clearest indicators of hidden attraction. When someone cares, truly cares, they notice when your attention drifts elsewhere. Maybe they ask casually, "Who are you texting?" Maybe they go a little quiet when you mention another name. Or perhaps their tone shifts just for a second when someone else flirts with you. That's not manipulation. That's the protective instinct of interest. Evolutionary psychology explains this as a response of the attachment system. When two people start bonding, the brain subconsciously tries to safeguard the connection. Small spikes of jealousy are its way of testing emotional security, and if you feel the same subtle twinge when they talk about someone else, that's reciprocity. You're both guarding the same connection, even if you pretend not to. Of course, healthy attraction balances this feeling. It's not about control or fear. It's about awareness. You simply care, and that caring reveals more than words ever could. So the next time you catch that flicker of protectiveness in their eyes, don't ignore it. That's not insecurity. That's emotional investment, quietly showing itself. Sign number 6. Your energy affects each other without words. This is the most spiritual yet scientifically backed layer of attraction. When you genuinely like someone and they like you, your emotional frequencies begin to synchronize. If you walk into a room stressed, they feel it. If they're down, you pick it up without a single word. Neuroscientists call this emotional contagion. Our mirror neuron systems read each other's micro-signals. Tone, breathing, posture, and mirror the emotion to maintain connection. That's why being around the right person feels calming, almost healing, while being near the wrong person feels draining. When attraction is mutual, you regulate each other's emotional states naturally. A single look can ground you. A brief touch can change your mood. Even a text can shift your entire energy for the day. That's more than chemistry. That's resonance. If someone's energy can lift you instantly, or if their presence brings you peace in chaos, it's not coincidence. It's connection at a nervous system level. You don't force it. You don't analyze it. You just feel safe, aligned, and a little more yourself when they're near. That's how you know attraction isn't just emotional or physical. It's energetic. Attraction isn't always fireworks or grand declarations. Most of the time, it's quiet, built through consistency, shared effort, and a rhythm only two people can feel. You've seen it through every sign. The shared effort of communication, the unconscious mirroring, the willingness to make time, the shift in energy when you're alone, the gentle jealousy that shows you care, and the unseen harmony that binds two emotional worlds together. If you've been noticing these signs, you're not imagining it. Something real is forming, whether either of you admits it yet or not. And here's the beautiful part. Once you recognize it, you're no longer powerless to it. You get to choose what happens next. Because attraction isn't about luck. It's about awareness. When you can see the truth behind the behavior, you move differently, more confidently, more calmly, and with the quiet strength that comes from understanding human nature. So, pay attention to the patterns, not just the words, because the smallest signs often speak the loudest. If this video gave you clarity or opened your eyes a little wider, make sure you subscribe to Dark Psychology, where we explore the hidden dynamics of attraction, emotion, and human behavior every week. I'm Amelia, and remember, the most powerful connections are rarely seen. They're felt music.